progressed from last season. The club had a long-term vision when we came in to try and make sure we had some good structures in place within League Two and became a household name at the top end of League Two instead of the bottom end of League Two, and then continue to build up year on year. And the aspirations this year were to try and build on the ninth place finish last year. We've done that so far. We're a point off the total we got last year, and to build a structure at the football club where we'd have some football and some financial assets. So in terms of all them things behind the scenes, really pleased with how that's developed. And now where we find ourselves in is with a great 5 weeks to go, in a real opportunity to have something tangible at the end of the season. So we're all really pleased, but we're all now desperate to see where it'll take us.
Yeah, and I suppose for our audience and our listeners here in Ireland, Pete, can you tell us about the size and the scope of Barrow Football Club compared to other clubs in the division like MK Dons, Wrexham, Mansfield? Where does Barrow sort of find itself? Are you a middle-sized club in League Two, or how would you be seen in terms of assets, revenues, playing grounds, facilities? Is Barrow well equipped to compete in this division in those terms?
Well, Barrow's is a small little town right on the edge of the northwest, and in some respects it's a real small town where between 5 and 7% of the team comes, 5 and 7% of the population comes to the great games, which is massive really because it's such a small town. So in that respect, we have a lot to contend with when you can see, like you say, Wrexham 12,000 a week, Bradford 17,000 a week. You've got 6,500 going to Mansfield. We're averaging around 4,000 a week. So in terms of where we're situated, the commercial revenue's not great. We're one of the lowest in the league for commercial revenue. In terms of fan base, as I've just said, again we're fighting to get people through the door. And then in terms of playing budget, we're probably we're lucky we've got 3 local benefactors that put money into the football club, and we're probably about halfway in terms of the playing budget. So we have a lot of challenges geographically for where we are, and we don't actually train in Barrow, we train in Manchester to try and get better recruitment. And then in terms of finances, like I say, we have lots of challenges to try and keep up with some real well-established clubs in League Two. If you look at League Two this year, it's probably the strongest it's been for a long, long time. So to find ourselves right up at the top end of the table with so many teams who are putting so much financial backing into it, we're really pleased with how that's going.
Yeah, and I suppose I looked through the Barrow squad there today, and one name just jumped out at me straight ahead because I still remember him being such a pivotal figure with Stoke City in the Premier League, and people talking about him going back a decade or so, playing international sort of football as such. And to see him as a catalyst in your back three, it's no wonder that you keep so many clean sheets when you have James Chester about. And to have a player that has been there, done it all, has come up against some of the came up against the likes of Dimitrov, Berbatov and others during his day in the Premier League and gone toe-to-toe with them. To have that guy in your back four, and even for the young defenders playing alongside him and learning off him in terms of the generation, I mean, that world of experience is invaluable because he's gone up against some of the best strikers money has to offer, dare I say. Luis Suarez, another one that he would have tussled with in his day. It must be a great asset for you, to a manager, to come in and see that guy like that sitting in your back defence, and the wealth of knowledge and experience that he's gone through in his career, now probably at the latter stages, but obviously everyone around can learn from it.
Yeah, James has been fantastic. I mean, James asked to come and train with us in the summer and liked it that much that we ended up being able to try and sign him. But like you say, his wealth of knowledge, his wealth of experience, the levels that he's played at, it certainly helps, and it certainly helps the players around him. We have a young Irish lad who played for Bohemians, Rory Feely, and Rory's been playing next to him in recent weeks, and the knowledge and the experience and the help he can give players like that has been phenomenal, and really, he's really brought an added dimension to our squad. We're a very experienced squad this year, but certainly having people like James in the building really does help when you go out every Saturday.
Yeah, and you mentioned there Feely at centre half, but there's also one or two other guys that have played a youth level for Ireland, Niall Canavan and Sam Foley as well. But one thing they always said about the Irish is their enthusiasm and their work ethic, and I suppose they always thirst for knowledge or thirst to improve, whatever their age. And is that something you see with those attributes? Would you aspire to young Feely and Niall Canavan and Sam Foley, that they're always wanting to, let's say, enhance their repertoire?
Yeah, certainly. There's a hunger to learn. Number one, all three of them people you mentioned are really good people, and that's number one on our recruitment list, is, are they good people? And like you say, if they are, then they have a thirst to learn, they have a thirst to try and get better. There's an enthusiasm about them that drives other people forward, and all three of them have them qualities, and mixed in with that, other people that we sign and we bring in, they have them same qualities. It's a real good environment for our younger players and our older players to mix and learn.
Yeah, and you mentioned about the younger players. I suppose when you go into that loan market as Barrow, in terms of looking up the leagues, and you're thinking to yourself, maybe I could pinch a guy maybe from Stoke City in the Championship, or maybe I could get someone from Queen's Park Rangers or Middlesbrough, someone young, hungry in terms of benefiting myself. But getting someone from Liverpool, and that has been recently renewed his contract at Liverpool, and we know the quality of players that Liverpool are producing now at the moment. Jurgen Klopp is just throwing them into the first team. Dare I say, he's not going out spending money. He's so invested in Liverpool's academy that he's throwing him. And you have one of them there in Lucas Stevenson. He's come to you, has played, I think it's 23 games so far this season. And tell me, how did that possibilities? Was it Barrow's connections being so close to Liverpool that you could make that happen in terms of a loan deal? And what made Luca want to maybe drop down, say, two to three divisions to join you?
Well, we have really good working relationships with a lot of the big clubs. Me and the assistant at Temple came through the youth development, so over the years you make good connections with all the big clubs. We've got a real good connection, Man United, Man City, Liverpool. We've had some really good players come and train with us, and some of them come on loan to us. But Luca's somebody we've been looking at for a while. You have to be a certain type of player for us to be interested, and we like Luca because he's mature beyond his years. He's a really professional lad, and he ticks all the boxes what we'd want from a loan player. And Liverpool, because of our history of doing well with loan players, were more than welcome for us to take him and to give him that experience. And like you say, with the number of games he's played, one thing we'll do is give young players opportunities if they're good enough. And we've done that with Luca. Liverpool are very happy with how we've gone about our business and how we've treated Luca, which is fantastic. And that now gives us trust with Liverpool, that if Liverpool want to send us any more players on loan, they trust us that we'll do the right thing by them players. I mean, we had a lad from Chelsea last year who's now at St Johnstone, Sam McClelland, and we had Harrison Neal on loan for Sheffield United. And we seem to have built up a trust with the big clubs that if you send your young players to us, we'll play them, we'll help them develop, and we're really particular in our loans. We don't take many loans. We've only got 2 this season, and one's an experienced player who's on loan, because we want to give them the best experience possible. And if we have lots of loans, we can't do that. If we have 1 or 2 loans, we can give them the best experience possible as young players.
Yeah, and I suppose, Pete, were you at all a bit concerned in February? You went through a bit of a slump, losing 3 games on the bounce after winning the first game in February. A bit of a wobble, but you really recovered well then in terms of March, and maybe got your promotion hunt back on track. But was February was it just one of those months where luck wasn't on your side?
I think every club at some point goes through a sticky patch, and results don't go your way, and you have to accept. You don't like it when it comes, but you have to accept it when it comes. You don't want to catastrophise the situation. You try and keep a level head, and a steady sort of ship with all the players. But we always knew we'd come out the other side of it, and it was around getting back to basics, tweaking a couple of things in terms of personnel, but no, really knowing that it will come through it, we'll come out the other side. And when we came out the other side, we were really pleased. But there's a lot of learning to be done. Because it happens to every team, and the real key for me is not catastrophising the situation